Good Saturday morning. This is the last of the last of the videos for this week. This one here is from Jeremiah. Okay, it's the lamb to the slaughter. See, the ultimate wisdom is the paradox of the cross. The lamb that goes to the slaughter is the lamb that redeems us, not power, not power, not wealth. See, not now. I don't know how else to put it. So look, I'll read it to you. Okay, the reading again is from Jeremiah. I knew their plot because the Lord informed me. At that time you, O Lord, showed me their doings. Yet I, like a trusting lamb led to the slaughter, had not realized that they were hatching plots against me. Let us destroy the tree in its vigor. Let us cut him off from the land of the living, that his name will be spoken no more. But you, O Lord of hosts, O just judge, searcher of mind and heart, let me witness the vengeance you take on them, for to you I have entrusted my cause. Now, what was the vengeance? The vengeance, the rejection of Christ. What's the vengeance? There is no vengeance as such. Okay, thank you, Jeremiah. It's that Christ is not forgotten. He could so easily have been forgotten. One more half-baked prophet that the Romans got rid of, pain in the butt, okay? He would have gone a dime a dozen, not even a dime. You get 10 cents, 2 cents a dozen, okay? But he had something special. His power lay in his self-sacrifice as the Lamb of sacrifice. And his followers believed in him. And not only believed in him in life, they believed in him in death. And they witnessed the resurrection. The women and the men. The apostles and the women. And they were willing to die for him. They were willing to die for someone purported to have just died. Not a powerful person, as a simple carpenter. The witness of the apostles is they shed their own blood in imitation of Christ. They too went to the slaughter like a lamb. It changed the world. It changed the world. So Friedrich Nietzsche in the 19th century spoke of the will to power, wrote The Will to Power. Hitler read it. The will to power, Hitler blew his own brains out in the cellar after leading to the death of tens of millions of people. That's the will to power. Where was Muzzy? I think the image of Mussolini is so potent. I was there in Milan where they have a site where he had been, where they killed him, okay, where they shot him, and they hung him, okay. And there's a plaque there actually in Milan, and I remember being there with my mother and dad in '73. And I have this poignant image of Mussolini hanging with his girlfriend by his feet like a pig. Like a pig. These were powerful men. The only one that got away with it was Stalin. Stalin died in his bed. The butcher, an absolute butcher. And his influence remains to this day. You see it in Putin. Russia has never gotten rid of its dictatorships. The tyranny of the Communist Party. Its ideology. Its suffocating ideology. It's dangerously suffocating ideology. Almost that tradition wreaks havoc in my thesis that power left to itself will destroy itself, which I think will still happen. We may be witnessing it now. I hope I'm right. See? St. Paul said that love is eternal, not power. And the ultimate power of God is creation, where he gives himself away in creation and then becomes the created and the servant of his creation. He doesn't come to be served, but to serve. His power lies in his self-disposition. Right? Not in the assertion of will, but in the willingness to give oneself to another in love. I think of that so much in any love relationship. If you seek to control the beloved, you will lose both. You will not have love in your life, and you will lose the beloved. But if you give your heart to the beloved, make her or him central, her beauty or his beauty and goodness, your beauty and goodness, then you'll have both. And the giving away you receive. That's why I think marriage is a sacrament. It's not because you just have children. is because it's the closest thing to the crucifixion love of Christ. You give yourself to another. Okay? Not a mere legal contract. There is not a legal ought. There is externality. There is externally that. But it is the intimacy of the heart, and it is only achievable when one's willing to give give oneself away. If that's not if that isn't the perfect sacrament of self, the sacrifice of Christ's love for us, as God through Christ gives himself away to us. He brings us together through the intimacy of love and the beauty of beauty itself. Okay? Where he could have commanded, he didn't. He could command the oceans, but he couldn't command the human heart, didn't try to. He tried to invite the human heart through love. And the prophets, and the great story of the crossings of the desert, okay, which Jeremiah and Isaiah and other prophets, Joel appeal to, Christ himself. He doesn't command obedience. He asks for love. Right? He says to St. Peter and the apostles, follow me, come on, follow me. See, no threat, follow me on this great journey. See, and you and I will change the world through love, through sacrifice, through love. I gotta think when you got married, those of you who are married or you fall in love with somebody, it's an invitation to companionship on a journey. It's an invitation of intimacy, to intimacy from the intimacy of the heart, willing to give oneself away, to be together, not to command and not to own, but to commune in an intimacy of life itself. I really believe that. I've done enough in the course of my pastoral life to see where it failed. And one of the worst ways it fails is when there is a failure of generosity, of self-disposition, when one asks what's in it for me. When you ask what's in it for me, you lose. You got exactly what you asked for. What's in it for you? You got yourself. You will die alone. What you say, ask the question, not what's in it for me, what's in it for you? Then you have both. That's the truth. If that isn't Christ, I give it up. Then I don't know what I'm talking about. And I do know. Christ doesn't say, what's in it for me? Hey. Nor do the apostles. In the beginning, yes, probably. But then they learn it's not what's in it for me, it's what's in it for you. What's in it for the world? What's in it for our fellow creatures, our fellow humans, for the world? How can I love the world better? And I think about judgment, and when I face God, I know that's not far off. I don't know what I got left. What I'm acutely aware of, besides the mercy of God, which is so real to me, but also his love for me, and the love he gave to me through the people of my life. My family, my friend Junie, even my little Sarah, okay? But all my friends, Junie's family, and all the rest. I think Junie more than anyone. Besides my family, of course. My classmates in the monastery. I'm going to start thinking it. Faces just keep coming to me. But Junie's very especially. And I think when God will ask me this, I think he might ask me this question. How well did you love those whom I have given you? Not how clean did you keep your nose. Not how many rules you kept or broke. How well did you love those I gave you? And I hope that they who are ahead of me in death will say, you have loved me well. And I hope that is the voice of God. Through them, you have loved me well.